Welcome back to Rising. Lindsey, what's in your lens today?
All right, we're talking about it. The battle over the future of Hollywood just got a little bit bigger. A coalition of 12 state attorneys general, led by California Attorney General Bob Bonta, filed a lawsuit Monday seeking to block Paramount's proposed takeover of Warner Bros. Discovery, arguing the deal would violate antitrust law and fundamentally reshape the entertainment industry in ways that could hurt consumers, workers, and competition. Bonta did not mince words when explaining why these states are all stepping in.
This deal is illegal under the Clayton Act. That is a law that has been on the books for over 100 years. It prevents mergers that may substantially lessen competition or tend to create a monopoly. There is no debate here. This merger would snuff out competition, drive up prices, diminish content quality, and produce fewer movies and shows each year.
Now, the lawsuit comes at a critical moment. Paramount's roughly $111 billion acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery has already cleared major hurdles, including shareholder approval in April and regulatory approval from the Trump administration just last month. The companies have been signaling they hope to close the deal within weeks, but now that timeline is suddenly in question. So at its core, this merger would combine two of Hollywood's remaining legacy media giants under one roof. Warner Brothers, HBO Max, CNN, and some of the most valuable entertainment franchises in the world, including Harry Potter, would join Paramount's portfolio of CBS, Paramount Pictures, and Paramount Plus. The states argue that concentration of power would definitely come at a cost. According to the complaint, the merger would reduce competition in theatrical film distribution and cable licensing, potentially leading to higher prices, fewer films reaching theaters, and less variety in content available to audiences. And while Wall Street often celebrates mergers as a path toward efficiency, let's be honest, efficiency in the media business has historically been a corporate synonym for layoffs. Thousands of jobs could ultimately disappear across California, New York, Georgia, Louisiana, and other states with significant entertainment industries. The impact won't stop with actors, writers, and producers, and even journalists. It reaches camera operators, editors, electricians, caterers, truck drivers, dry cleaning, theater, employees, countless small businesses that depend on the economic ecosystem surrounding film and television production. For young people hoping to enter media careers, the stakes are equally as significant. Every merger of this size narrows the field. Fewer companies mean fewer entry-level opportunities, fewer newsrooms, fewer production teams, and fewer pathways into media. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani jumped into the conversation Monday, writing on X, quote, "This is not a merger that serves the public. It would hand one company nearly a third of the movies and cable channels Americans watch, raise prices for streaming and cable, endanger the livelihoods of thousands of New York artists and entertainment workers, and threaten to shutter theaters across our city." This is more than a simple merger between two corporations. This is about democracy, even journalism, economic power, and who gets to control the information and entertainment consumed by millions of Americans. The Trump administration's approval of the transaction has raised lots of questions about the growing influence of the Ellison family. Paramount CEO David Ellison's father, Oracle founder Larry Ellison, has maintained a close relationship with President Trump for years. A combined Paramount Warner company would also place CNN under the Ellison's family control, adding a whole other layer of concern for those already worried about media consolidation. Now, to be clear, Paramount strongly disputes all these states' claims. The company argues the lawsuit misapplies antitrust law. So we'll just have to see what the courts say. The states involved are California, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Washington. They're all asking the court to prevent the deal from closing while litigation proceeds. So if Paramount and Warner refuse to delay the transaction voluntarily, the coalition has indicated it's going to seek a temporary restraining order. Now, Paramount execs may get upset, but this is exactly why antitrust laws exist. It's the responsibility of regulators, legislators, and courts to determine whether corporate growth serves the public interest or threatens it.
I completely disagree with you on all of this.
Wow. Not one thing in there. You don't believe that any of these states should
No.
stand up for the fact that they're going to lose so many jobs, and this consolidation is going to cost a lot of people that work throughout their cities a
No,
ton?
this effort to fight this is going to be a waste of time because it's going to lose in court. Antitrust law, the basis of antitrust is harm to the consumers. That's all. So they have to prove that this merger is going to harm just consumers, not caterers or rival companies or any of that. It's just consumers of this product. You can't demonstrate that because there's obvious benefits to this merger for the consumers. Like, what if I love the Looney Tunes and Harry Potter and I want to see them team up and fight crime together? Well, now I'm going to be able to do that because the company will be able to manufacture IP that combines those things. So there's no obvious, it's up for grabs whether it's good or bad. It's like subjective based on your preference.
The detriment to the consumer is like if you have one subscription at Paramount Plus and then you have one HBO Max subscription and they're competing because they're competitors in the market and one's charging $12.99 but HBO is charging $11.99, you might go with HBO and say, forget Paramount, it's too expensive. They're combined now and they might just decide they're charging $14.99. Guess who fails in this whole situation? The consumer, because they have no choice but to get all that programming for double the cost.
But you're comparing them just against the exact same thing, but the media is so fragmented. They're competing for your attention and your money, your subscription to the premium package, against Netflix and YouTube, and against just cutting cable entirely or having a cable package or just scrolling video on TikTok or Instagram. Like, your attention is now besieged by video in all forms on all devices at all times. The media ecosystem is bigger than ever before. So this idea that journalists are going to lose out on jobs, there are more jobs in journalism than there have ever been.
No,
there's just a lot of there aren't more
that's
jobs
what I'm saying.
at
Don't
a
act
journalism company.
Don't act like just starting
Your own YouTube channel, it's easier than ever.
Yeah, but don't act like that's going to bring you a salary like coming out of school and getting a job and healthcare and all the things that you're looking for when you work for a traditional newspaper or anywhere. I know, but you're saying if. There's a lot of anomalies you're pointing to.
One specific category of employment that existed for 50 years is undergoing transformation, yes. But it's not the government's job to protect that specific kind of work against the market.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to simplify that getting on any independent outlet and going out on your own will bring some type of income or formal training for people that are pursuing careers in media. And as you consolidate, obviously, they're going to use the resources in-house between two major powerhouses and figure out how to narrow that down. And so if that looks like doing one less movie a year, guess who catches, the short end of the stick in that? The consumer. Because now this huge behemoth of a company is doing less content. Or if it just means, okay, we were relying on what we know works, Fast and Furious, franchises that work over and over again. We're going to do more and more of that. That is not competition. To take risks. We want to see them take.
That's
the consumer
entirely subjective.
No, that we want to see
the
the companies
millions of people who love Fast Furious. Other Fast and Furious.
But they also millions of people who get annoyed that they try to recreate Supergirl and recreate the same franchises over and over.
I get annoyed by that too, but there's more content.
So these two powerhouses that usually rely on franchises are combining with one another. We're going to see more of what's safe rather than more of what consumers want, which is a variety of content. That's the space we live in right now. They're competing against Netflix. It's causing them to have to be more creative. If you're making us pay $14.99 a month, put something new on there. Netflix always does. The competition bar has raised. And so making less different outlets in the market is a problem for the people that have options out there and see what they want to watch. Like, you have to hold Apple TV to a high standard if they want to compete against HBO, which program is usually top tier, top quality production, top quality budget.
Consolidation allows for you to make use of the best and brightest minds, the most promising IP.
But we lose a whole outlet.
Or from the other.
Like, everything becomes Paramount.
Lost, but it's not. I mean, that's not always. One of the reasons companies consolidate is because they want to take. This happened at the company we work for, right? News Nation and The Hill were distinct entities, and now they benefit from the collaborative process. News Nation gets to have Hill reporters and experts on its airwaves, and vice versa. And this has made both products more dynamic in the marketplace.
News Nation and The Hill were not two different cable channels that combine. That's like News Nation and CNN combining, News Nation and Fox News combining. That would be more apples to apples.
In today's day and age, it's all kind of, again, we're all competing. There's not this ironclad division. This is TV. This is subscription. It's all everything. Because it's all on your phone anyway. It's all short form video is what it's coming to. The quality over time in viewing options, the amount of viewing options you have and the quality. I know I love to complain about how movies look too dark and I can't see anything. But, old man yells at cloud. But go back to the way, like, the options you had to watch things, like, when I was a kid or shortly before that, were terrible. Like the Brady Bunch, things like that.
It's a good show. People like that
No,
show.
go back and watch it. It's not a good show. It was like one of the best shows at the time. Things have gotten so much better. And now if that's what you want to watch, congratulations. You can watch
Go
it.
to Turner
It's
Classic
easier
Movies.
today to watch the Brady Bunch than it was in the 80s or whenever it was on, 70s, something like that. Because you had to wait for it to come on at 7:30 p.m. and you had to just watch it. That now you can easily find it. You can find old things. It's all getting better, and there's no evidence that market consolidation of these big companies is harming that at all.
Well, take a look at CBS.
And to win this lawsuit, they have to prove that it's harmful in a very specific way, not to other companies, not to would-be prospective journalists, but to the subscribers to the product, to the consumer, because that's the foundation of antitrust law.
Well, we're gonna
and there's
see.
no way you're going to be able to prove that because there are obvious benefits to the consumer of doing it this way.
We're going to see. And also, Paramount is going to have to pay out its shareholders if this doesn't go through by September, because that's a clause in this agreement. So, Lindsey Graham's sister is set to take on his role as senator following the sudden death. More on that coming up.